One rules the ice, cloaked in silence and snow. The other rules the mountains, thunder in its footsteps, muscle in every stride. The polar bear, the Arctic's silent executioner, stalks seals across frozen wastelands with lethal patience. The Kodiak bear, Pacific giant, wields brute force, ripping through forests and riverbanks like a battering ram. Both are apex predators. Both fear nothing, but what happens when they meet? Not on tundra, not on the coastline, but on neutral ground. When apex meets apex, there are no second chances. This isn't just a fight. This is supremacy. Polar bear versus Kodiak bear, let the battle begin. The polar bear is the largest land carnivore alive. Adult males range from 900 to 1,600 pounds, with some exceptional giants reaching over 10 feet tall when standing. Built for endurance across endless ice, their bodies are streamlined yet deceptively powerful. Their bite force, around 1,200 psi, can crush through seal skulls and thick ice. Long, curved 4-inch claws act like meat hooks, built to grip and tear. But their greatest asset? Stamina. A polar bear can stalk prey across frozen miles, conserving energy until the perfect moment to strike. Facing it is the Kodiak bear, a coastal colossus from Alaska's wild frontier. Weighing between 1,200 to 1,500 pounds, the Kodiak's frame is broader, denser, and packed with sheer explosive power. Though roughly the same height when upright, the Kodiak's muscle mass is concentrated in its shoulders, built for digging, grappling, and overpowering prey or rivals. With the same crushing 1,200 psi bite force, its strikes are shorter but delivered with shocking impact. Kodiaks are not long-distance hunters. They're stand-your-ground bee. Are you ice-stalking who holds the edge? The polar bear is the endurance predator, designed to wear you down in the cold, one calculated strike at a time. The Kodiak is the powerhouse. Quick to explode, lethal up close, one dominates the ice with patience. The other rules the land with pressure. And if they collide, it's not just mass that matters. It's how you use it. Where they live shapes how they fight. The polar bear is the undisputed monarch of the Arctic, a world of ice floes, freezing winds, and eternal silence. It survives where few others can, traversing vast frozen wastelands. In search of seals, its primary hunting ground, the sea ice, it's both a battlefield and a lifeline. The polar bear can swim for over 60 miles without rest, using sheer endurance to cross hostile terrain. Every step on the ice is deliberate, every kill a necessity. In this land, there's no forgiveness for weakness. The cold kills the slow. The hunger drives the sharp. The Kodiak bear, meanwhile, rules the rugged, storm-lashed islands of Alaska's Kodiak archipelago. Towering forests, rocky cliffs, and salmon-rich rivers make up its domain. Unlike the polar bear, the Kodiak lives in a world teeming with life, but also competition. Other bears, wolves, humans, its survival depends on dominance, especially during the short, frantic feeding seasons. A Kodiak doesn't stalk, it conquers. It breaks branches, moves boulders, and claims riverbanks by sheer presence. Now imagine removing both from their elements, dropping them into neutral terrain, no ice, no rivers. Just earth, wind, and instinct. Who adapts? Who panics? Who prevails? A predator's hunting style reveals how it thinks and how it kills. The polar bear is a solo assassin honed by isolation and scarcity. In the frozen Arctic, there's no room for mistakes. It survives by stalking silently across ice sheets, locking onto a seal's breathing hole and waiting, sometimes for hours, sometimes for days. And when the moment comes, it strikes with chilling speed, one massive paw slam, and the kill is over. One shot. One kill. It's a specialist designed for stealth and precision, but when food is rare, desperation sets in. Polar bears have been documented scavenging carcasses, even raiding human camps, pushing the boundaries of risk. Starvation turns the quiet hunter into a fearless opportunist. The Kodiak bear, on the other hand, thrives in abundance. Salmon rivers. Berries, elk, its diet is vast. It's not a specialist, it's a tank. It will wait beside a stream, swat fish from the water, or rip apart logs to uncover grubs. But don't mistake diet variety for softness. When challenged, Kodiaks unleash devastating power. Territorial battles between males can end with crushed skulls and shattered bones. Unlike the polar bear, the Kodiak is used to defending what it owns against other giants. It doesn't just hunt. It dominates. So when these two meet, you're not just watching a battle of strength. You're watching two survival philosophies collide. Precision versus power, isolation versus territory, cold. Calculation versus raw control. The polar bear is deceptively agile for its massive size. Its long frame and narrow skull give it reach in close quarters, while its massive limbs allow it to strike like a sledgehammer. A single paw swipe has been known to decapitate seals and break the spines of prey. Their muscles are leaner but tuned for stamina and striking power, especially after swimming miles in freezing temperatures. Polar bears also fight upright, using their body length to intimidate and overpower, but the Kodiak bear, it's a walking wall. Its shoulder hump is pure muscle, developed from years of digging, lifting, and wrestling. This gives it terrifying grappling strength. In a fight, the Kodiak doesn't just strike, it throws its weight. It slams, pins, and overpowers with brute force. Its short, dense claws aren't made for slicing, but for holding, locking, and crushing. Imagine the moment, on a snowy ridge, they rise to full height, two towers of muscle and rage. The polar bear moves first, wide swings, fast and precise. The Kodiak takes the hit and charges through it. No hesitation. No retreat. In this match, every second matters. One lands a strike. The other turns it into a kill. The polar bear, for all its power, is a solitary nomad. It roams the endless Arctic ice alone with no permanent territory to defend. Encounters with other polar bears are rare and usually hostile. Males will fight viciously during mating season, but outside of that, they avoid unnecessary conflict. Not out of fear, but out of energy conservation. Every fight risks injury. Every injury risks death in the cold. The Kodiak bear, on the other hand, is used to confrontation. Living in a resource-rich but crowded environment, Kodiaks are constantly competing with each other, with other predators, even with humans. Dominance determines who eats, who breeds, who survives. Territorial battles erupt over riverbanks. Mating rights and salmon runs. When two males meet during peak season, they don't posture long. They charge, collide, and let the muscle decide. So, in a face-off between the nomad and the guardian. Who throws the first punch? The polar bear may strike with lethal precision, but the Kodiak has fought more battles, survived more duels, and carries a mind wired for combat under pressure. Though the polar bear and Kodiak bear have never met in the wild, they are not strangers by blood. Both are subspecies of the brown bear lineage, cousins separated by climate and time. Genetic studies show that polar bears evolved from brown bears thousands of years ago, adapting to icy conditions and a carnivorous diet, while Kodiaks remained. Rooted in the rugged terrain of the Pacific, polar bears took to the ice, becoming hunters of the sea. Despite their differences, they share a common foundation, intelligence, strength, and a brutal legacy of survival. And then, the calm vanishes. Some indigenous stories speak of massive bears descending from icebergs or appearing during harsh winters, sparking territorial battles with their brown-coated cousins. Myth or memory, it adds fuel to the mystery because while nature may have kept them apart, everything in their DNA says they were built to collide. The setting, a frozen tundra where forest meets ice. The wind howls, the ground is uneven, half snow, half stone. There are no caves to run to, no rivers to claim. Just two beasts, face to face. The polar bear moves first, slow, deliberate, almost ghost-like. Its breath steams in the air, eyes fixed. It's not here to threaten. It's here to end the fight before it starts. With one massive paw, it swings wide, aiming for the head. But the Kodiak bear doesn't flinch. The blow lands, but the Kodiak lunges forward anyway, using momentum and mass to close the distance. It crashes into the polar bear like a boulder, shoulders rippling with power. They grapple, roar, dig into the earth, claws rake across muscles. Blood splashes on snow. The Kodiak pushes with brute strength, trying to pin, to crush. The polar bear pulls away, counters with precision strikes, relying on reach, endurance, and speed. The fight stretches on. Minutes of fury feel like hours. In one possible ending. The Kodiak's relentless pressure overwhelms, forcing the polar bear to retreat, limping, winded, bleeding. In another, the polar bear outlasts, letting the Kodiak burn energy before landing a devastating paw strike that ends it. There's no clear winner, no celebration. Only scars and silence, because in a battle like this, there is no glory, only survival. One walks away. The other doesn't. In the wild, there are no medals, only scars, silence, and survivors. The polar bear is patience and precision, shaped by scarcity, powered by endurance, and deadly by necessity. The Kodiak bear is force and fury, conditioned by competition, built for battle, and relentless by instinct. Both are apex predators, both are kings of their worlds. But in a fight on neutral ground, the outcome may not be about strength, but about timing. The polar bear waits, the Kodiak charges. One calculates, the other commits, and maybe that's the answer. It belongs to the one who adapts, first fast and without fear. Who wins, the icy executioner or the coastal colossus? Drop your winner in the comments and tell us why. Like if you felt the impact. Subscribe for more Predator face-offs.